Hello, friends. So today I'm going to read a book that actually is kind of a new book for me, but I really, really like it. And let me tell you what the book's about. This book is all about asking lots and lots of questions and being curious. And I know that a lot of you like asking lots and lots of questions, right? And I bet especially while you're home with your family, you're asking them a lot of questions. And you're trying to figure out a lot of different things right now. So, this book is all about those questions, and you'll get to see what happens in this book. So, this book is called Ada Twist Scientist. She's a scientist. A scientist is someone whose job it is to explore the world and to do experiments and to learn all about how the world works. So, this book was written by Andrea Beatty. She's the author. And the illustrator who drew all these cool pictures is David Roberts. All right. Ada Twist, Scientist. Ada Marie, said not a word till the day she turned 3. She bounced in her crib and looked all around, observing the world, but not making a sound. She learned how to climb and made her big break with a trail of chaos left in her wake. Chaos is like a big, crazy mess. She ran through the day, chasing each sound and sight, and didn't slow down till she conked out at night. Conked out means falling asleep, just like she is right there. Her parents were frazzled, but tried not to freak, as Ada grew bigger and still did not speak. Clearly, young Ada, with lots in her head, would have something to say when it ought to be said. That's just what happened when Ada turned 3. She tore through the house on a fact-finding spree. Fact-finding spree means she really wants to figure something out. And climbed up the clock just as high as she could. Her parents yelled, "Stop!" as all good parents would. Ada's chin quivered as shaking. But she did not cry. She took a deep breath. And she simply said, "Why?" Why does it tick? And why does it tuck? Why don't we call it a granddaughter clock? Why are there pointy things stuck to a rose? Why are there hairs up inside your nose? She started with why, and then what, how, and when. By bedtime, she came back to why once again. She drifted to sleep as her dazzled parents smiled at the curious thoughts of their curious child, who wanted to know what the world was about. They kissed her and whispered, "Soon you'll figure out." Her parents kept up with their high-flying kid, whose questions and chaos both grew as she did. Oh, there's that word chaos again, and look, there's all that mess she made down there. Look at all these colors. Even Miss Greer found her hands were quite full when young Ada's chaos wreaked havoc at school. Oh, there's a lot of words there. So chaos means all this mess, and wreaking havoc is like making a big mess. But this much was clear about Miss Ada Twist. She had all the traits of a great scientist. There's that scientist word again. Remember, that's someone whose job it is to explore the whole world. Ada was busy that first day of spring, testing the sounds that make mockingbirds sing, when a horrible stench, a stench is something stinky, whacked her right in the nose, a pungent aroma that curled up her toes. Pungent aroma means a really strong smell. "Zowie," said Ada, which got her to thinking, what is the source of that terrible stinking? How does a nose know when there's something to smell? And does it still stink if there's no nose to tell? She rattled off questions and tapped on her chin. She'd start at the start where she ought to begin. A mystery, a riddle, a puzzle, a quest. This was the moment that Ada loved best. Ada did research to learn all she could of smelling and smells, both the stinky and good. One hypothesis. Hypothesis is your very, very good guess about what's going to happen. One hypothesis Ada thought could be true. The terrible stink came from Dad's cabbage stew. She tested and tested, but soon Ada knew it was time to come up with hypothesis 2. Then zowie! The stink struck again, just like that. Hypothesis 2, it's caused by the cat. The cat couldn't make such a stink on its own. It needed perfume and some fancy cologne. So young Ada tested. The test was a flop. She started again, but her parents yelled, "Stop!" Ada Marie, to the thinking chair now. By the time we count 3. Enough, said her mother. That's it, said her dad. Her parents were frustrated, frazzled, and mad. Oof, those are some big feelings to feel. Why? Ada questioned. Her mother said no. What? Ada queried. Her father said go. You've ruined our supper. You've made the cat stink. Enough with your questions. Now sit there and think. She looked at her parents. Her heart turned to goo. Poor Ada Twist didn't know what to do. Oh, wow. Look at that face. Looks like she's feeling pretty bad about it all, huh? She sat all alone by herself in the hall, and Ada, once more, could say nothing at all. And so Ada sat, and she sat, and she sat, and she thought about science and Stu and the cat, and how her experiments made such a big mess. Does it have to be so? Is that part of success? Are messes a problem? And while she was thinking, what was the source of that terrible stinking? Ada Marie did what scientists do. She asked a small question, and then she asked 2. And each of those led her to 3 questions more. And some of those questions resulted in 4. As Ada got thinking, she really dug in. She scribbled her questions and tapped on her chin. She started at why, and then what, how, and when. At the end of the hall, she reached why once again. Her parents calmed down, and they came back to talk. They looked at the hallway and just had to gawk. Gawk means to stare like this. No patch of bare paint could be seen on the wall. The thinking chair was now the great thinking hall. They watched their young daughter and sighed as they did. What would they do with this curious kid who wanted to know what the world was about? They smiled and whispered, "We'll figure it out." And that's what they did, because that's what you do when your kid has a passion and heart that is true. They remade the world, their world, and now they're all in the act of helping young Ada sort fiction from fact. She asked lots of questions. How could she resist? It's all in the heart of a young scientist. And as for that smell, what can Ada Twist do but learn all she can with her friends in grade 2? Will they discover the stink that curls toes? Well, that is the question. And someday, who knows? All right, my friends. Ada Twist sure asked a lot of questions, didn't she? She asked about how things happen and why things happen and what even things are happening. You know, she was really curious. And I know you all are so curious too. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to do some noticing today. You can look out the window, or you could watch your brother or sister or mom or dad or your cat or your dog and observe. Observe is when you really pay attention. You can observe them. You could draw a picture of what they're doing. You could ask your family some questions about it. Like, why does my cat sleep so much? Or, why does my baby brother not know how to walk yet? Why does he crawl? Or, why do we always cook eggs before we eat them? Think about some questions you could ask your family also, okay? And I want to hear about what you observed and what those cool questions are that you're asking. All right, friends? All right, my young scientists, goodbye until next time.